It's on and on to the break of dawn. So sweet something bon. Hello, beautiful people. We are go time for yet another edition of We're going to learn how stuff works. In this case, we were able to turn around that ad incredibly quickly. I'm very pleased with it. It's already uploaded. It's ready to launch. But most importantly, we have to find out who is going to be number one, who's going to be first in the hood, who's going to be first past the post. Oh, this is when I realize that it's unlisted on YouTube. I don't know. It's kind of a bit at this point. Here we go. And a boom. There we go on the count of three. I guess, why am I counting to three? We're already there and they're off to the races. We're going to see who's there. And of course, it's G. James B first in the Twitch chat. Well done, G. James B. So, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with how quick I was able to turn around something so fun and easy. So far, we don't have anybody in the YouTube chat. It's Ben Pebbles. You did it. You did. Oh, Dylan, you got unseated. I wanted to say Dylan unseated, and instead it came deist. You're a deist. You're a deist, Harry. All right. So, new camera, old camera, shallow depth of field. Everything's pretty much in focus. But this one does have the wider shot. I guess I could. I wonder how. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it. Maybe I will. Hold on. Let me see. Who else we got? We got Dylan here. We got Nitro Bird. We got Ben Pebbles is the winner. We got Xanders. And yeah, I was about to say Ben Pebbles took a bold move by deciding to flex and do a long word for his hello phrase. Hello phrase? Sure. Hello phrase. There we go. Okay. Yep, that works. That tracks. Okay, so the game plan is we shot an ad yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that happen. I think it came out pretty well. The footage was able to cross over really well. I learned a bit about, and we'll get to the post-production side of things, but I was able to learn a bit about upscale, or I don't know, smoothing out the audio on that. It did matter to have a room mic locally when we were recording to sync all the footage, but the important part was that it sounds good now. And this is, I believe, the second ever video. No, I guess, no. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to overstate it. So, it's a curious thing to announce that you're doing a price raise, but essentially it's reminding people that something is on sale with the credible threat of that there are economic factors that say we're going to have to raise the price on a high quality item. That's no BS. By the way, thank you very much, Dylan, for the kind words that you said about the Rogues Arena. It really does change the game. And that parallel story is that parallel story of the monitor ended up playing great, as we're about to see. Jay's asking, what is the source of the revenue you have? We'll eventually digest the whole business plan, but it's very simple. I make high quality, excellent stories that earn your attention, and then I try to solve solutions, and I offer products in an online store, and then I invest that money into telling bigger, more outrageous, wild stories. So in this case, we're to the part where I'm telling them, there's also, it gets more complicated than that. We break down by vertical. The rules for a short are different than the rules for a long form video, are different than the rules for a live stream like you're watching right now. And the different channels have different style guides and rules. Hello, Joshua Van Allen. It's good to see you. Can I tell you guys one of my favorite parts as I was going through all this was just noticing all the names on this plaque. It just makes me so happy. And I'm not going to claim something crazy like I'll be able to recite all 999 of them chapter and verse, but I'll tell you what, man, All the names are getting more and more familiar every time we do a lap. Okay, so as you guys know, so if I was able to begin knowing everything and knowing how everything was going to go, then everything would be mostly under one channel. But instead, everything is siloed. But one of the downsides of that is that you've got to create a monstrous amount of content in order to feed so many different beasts, because people expect certain rhythms to their releases. Like, think about your band, your favorite band. You know, if they dropped a new album every single day, you'd be like, whoa, this is a lot of homework. Are you sure this is all good? Whereas if they dropped it every 10 years, you're like, oh, them, that's right. So there's a proper steady flow of stuff. And when you have multiple channels to feed, you got to come up with a lot of stuff. And during the pandemic, when we were able to have a gargantuan team, it was just a matter of like, keep making up work, keep making up reasons, content. Everybody take the raw product, refine that. And so now, two things changed. Number one, the pandemic ended. Everyone went outside. It stopped raining ad dollars. So you stopped being able to use money to keep that engine going. But at the same time, technology has gotten to the point where an extraordinary amount of fidelity is possible thanks to robot helping hands. The quality of this camera we've talked about over the last few days. We're now 7 months into the experiment where Brian just learns how to do everything. And I'm finally at the place where I'm still discovering little things in Adobe Premiere, but we're at the part where I'm able to start using lookup tables, LUTs. Oh, wait. You know what? I wonder if I'm competing on this. It shouldn't be cutting out at all. What is, that's really interesting, because it's showing it on here the entire time, but that would imply that it's happening on the software side. I guess the first and most important thing is let me know if this fixed it. Audio check. G. James B, not gonna lie. Mike and I have talked about how of the three currencies, story, attention, sales, artists, especially very, very talented artists, want to story their way up. Audio frames. That's weird. Is it still happening? That's the important thing. Hi, Corey. Corey, is it still happening? And I guess the other thing is it my audio on the vocal mic or all of the audio, including the music in the background? Hello, Baden. How are you? I don't know if I like very little at all. I might have to actually listen to this. Sounds like it's harder to describe than I'd hoped. Let's see. I'll also get a sense of what kind of latency we have if I do it this way. Let's do... If I go to YouTube... Feels like all the audio is dropping. Interesting. Okay. Well, hang on. Wait, why are my earbuds not working now? What? I think I took someone else's earbuds. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these are not my earbuds. I stole Bonnie's. I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be in so much trouble. Busted. Oh, I hear what you're talking about. It does sound like a gating issue. Check. Test. I'm talking real quietly, intentionally. Test. Okay, that's interesting. Let me adjust the gate on this. Test. Yeah. Test. And now I'm still talking really quietly, and the question is it above the gate, and can you hear it when I am talking? All right. Well, you see, now I'm blowing it out. I'm pretty sure that's off. The delay is not as bad as I'd feared. Here comes my voice. No, I guess it's not as blown out as I had feared. Yeah, is that all right? If you guys are fine with this, we could just stick with this. I am interested in the fact that the audio's... Let me text Bonnie and own the fact that I think I stole her earbuds. Okay. I'll just keep this right here. And you guys can... Yeah, all right. Is the audio still listed, or is the background music still hearable? Like, how's that for a mid-level? Well, hello, Nitro Bird. All right. Well, we'll keep going. So, there's a rhythm to things, and in this case, we're ramping up kind of the store side of things with, luckily we have a whole separate channel for extra stuff, with the Scam Stuff channel. And so now that the production pipeline is shorter, we're able to produce a lot more. And so now we're going to take that ad that we created yesterday and we're gonna release it. So if you guys want to, first of all, you guys get to watch it. That'll be fun. And most importantly, we'll do a live premiere. It's only 3.5 minutes long, but I think it turned out pretty well. So we'll go to content. We'll go to, look at that. Look at that classic YouTube thumbnail. I took the dumbest, goofiest face that I was making. Let's go. So I'm raising the price of the Rogues Arena. Oh, yeah. You guys should all subscribe over to Scam Stuff. YouTube.com/scamstuff. That's where you will get, that's where the extended outtakes go. That's where some secret benefits go. Some stuff that, and again, where the rules of YouTube are always kind of in flux and changing. But that's a safe spot where real ones, if you're here in the live stream, then the type of things that we put on Scam Stuff will be of interest to you for certain. So let's go to details, and I will change it to public. I'll set it as a live premiere. G. James B asks if it would be a crime to use the Rogues Arena as a laptop tray. Not only is it not a crime, but that's maybe my favorite surprise benefit of it is, I mean, just as a tray, it's great because the padded side rests on your lap comfortably, and that big, wide, flat tabletop wood is nice. It's really, really great. So here's what we're going to do. If you guys want to join me in the chat over here, then that could be fun. I don't know if it'll affect the algorithm. Like, I've stopped trying to outsmart the algorithm. You could maybe nudge it here and again, but not much. But anyway, here, we'll go ahead and do the live premiere. I'm always surprised that it doesn't take you there for the live premiere. That's so silly to me. It seems like that's a thing you do. You shouldn't have to click over and do it yourself. Premiere will begin shortly. Yo. Good. Bad news. Good news? Question mark.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto
It's still a bargain right now.
It's pronounced Liberty.
Okay. I ain't streaming your ad. You double dipping ad folks. Do you guys remember? Did you guys pay attention? Did you guys notice that time that the intro video got epic for a second? The countdown timer. That was a fun moment. Oops, wrong. There we go. Monster. Now that I know it, oh, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done that. Now that I know, it's like my friend Daniel Whittington. He sat down with a guitar, picked it up for 2 hours, never played a chord, was constantly about to begin, and then remembered another story to tell. It was extraordinary. All right. There we go. Okay, so I'll turn this up. So funny. We're watching you guys, some of you are watching a live restream of a live premiere. So it's going to be compression on compression on compression. A clap slate. And then now, let's just get it started. All right, gather round, team. Here's the news. I'd hate to break it to you. We're raising the price of the Rogues Arena. Why? Because it's a durable good and it's awesome, by God. Also, it's very expensive to make these lovely, lovely, incredible close-up pads. Why do you need a close-up pad? What is it, just a bunch of felt? I got a napkin, I got a tablecloth. Shush you. I almost said harsher things. Here's the thing, follow me on this thread. When I first got into high-end PC gaming, I realized that there was one way to give an upgrade to every video game I ever played, and that was to have a bigger, more beautiful monitor. It's the most money I've ever spent adjusted for inflation ever on my PC rig, and I don't regret it to this day. I still have that functioning giant 21-inch CRT monitor. It's in the arcade cabinet. You can do that for your performances and your magic. Oh, that's lovely. You know what? Wouldn't change a thing. 10 out of 10. Would stream again. This gap brought to you by Comcast. Comcast, when you're... You know that in theory, the magic is the magic, and the story is the magic, and the tricks are what matter, but you also know that when you're out at the bar and you deal down a card, this moment that you're doing this is taking away from you to make a giant free choice, a big spread of all of the cards. That cushion makes it so it's always easy to pick up cards and turn them over. And because they are so finely, exquisitely crafted, you're gonna be able to use it for years and sell it down the road. I ain't gonna lie and tell you this is an investment. Kind of an investment. I mean, if gold Krugerrands are an investment, then this is like the Cadillac of investments, which, by the way, it's better than a Cadillac because Cadillacs go down in value over time. Which brings me to the bad news. Price is going up. The new price for the Rogues Arena is going to be $400. Why? Number one, because it's worth it. Number two, because they're very expensive and durable and hard to make. But what about now? As I record this, the price is still a ridiculously low $249.99.
Guess what? If you're seeing this in the future, that was the price. Can you believe it was such a bargain?
Oh no! No, Gary! What are you doing to me? Why? Why? Ted Spectrum strikes again. It does. Am I giving the middle finger? Yeah, can't tell. It looks AI. I only have 3 fingers. Yep, old three flyby. 3 flyby. Yeah, all right. Well, it was a good run. Good run, gang. Let's do this. I'll hit refresh. And it's over. And it's gone. Here, let's see if we can get it to play in its entirety. Oh, I don't want your ads. Look, man, I'm trying to make you guys money, YouTubes. People should be watching ads on my ads. Wait a minute. Nope, it's another ad. Okay, wait. Hush. I don't care about your Waymo. This is annoying and I have to sing along. I refuse. Well, I guess I just said what the ad is for. Oh my God. How does anybody sit through ads ever?
Like no one else.
That was a very privileged thing to say. I'm sorry.
Everything.
But also, YouTube Premium is worth the expense. For reals. The fact that this is the one account that's not linked on it. Okay. All right. So let's try that again. I'm going to take a look at this. And okay, what do I, this is dumb and I hate it, but it's the best practices of YouTube. That is something that's going to stick out. Also the raising of the price. That's what you want is you want your titles to be congruent. You want them to be factually accurate. It's only clickbait if you don't pay off on what you claim. And the, yep. So anyway, I rate this as fine. You're going to click and it does, indicate the rough area that it is here. We'll take a look at it again.
Clap slate. And then now, let's just get it started. All right, gather round, team. Here's the news. I'd hate to break it to you. We're raising the price of the Rogues Arena. Why? Because it's a durable good and it's awesome, by God. Also, it's very expensive to make these lovely, lovely, incredible close-up pads. Why do you need a close-up pad? What is it, just a bunch of felt? I got a napkin, I got a tablecloth. Shush you. I almost said harsher things. Here's the thing, follow me on this thread. When I first got into high-end PC gaming, I realized that there was one way to give an upgrade to every video game I ever played, and that was to have a bigger, more beautiful monitor. It's the most money I've ever spent adjusted for inflation ever on my PC rig, and I don't regret it to this day. I still have that functioning giant 21-inch CRT monitor. It's in the arcade cabinet. You can do that for your performances and your magic. You know that in theory, the magic is the magic and the story is the magic and the tricks are what matter, but you also know that when you're out at the bar and you deal down a card, this moment that you're doing this
all right, there we go. By the way, this is everything that matters in the ad. In the world of advertising, this is all so reductive and tactical sounding, but basically when you hear advertising people talk about pain points, focus on the pain point. A loving way to express it would be like, look, man, we all want good things for other people. And the moment we're looking at an ad, we want to know, we want to inject ourselves in the narrative. That's the reason you get that super sloppy, super obvious, grayscale, boing, why are eggs so hard to peel? And it's like, you can, if not agree with the sentiment, you can at least project yourself. And what happens is your mirror neurons fire. Oh, I did it. I did the thing. That's all right. We'll roll with it. Your mirror neurons fire. Mirror neurons are basically they hook up brain scans to a monkey, then they have a monkey do a backflip, and they're like, okay, that's a backflip set of neurons. But then they have a monkey watch another monkey do a backflip, and the mental map fires as though it's doing it. They call it mirror neurons. So likewise, That little moment right there is a moment of anxiety. A good brand, a good ad, a good everything is both the problem and the solution all rolled in one. And so rather than tell everybody how nice it is to pick up the card, instead it's you instantly just see it and you're like, oh, I've been there. I know that feeling. And now, and of course there's multiple modalities. There's the text layer, there's the kinesthetic body layer, there's the visual layer. All of that's happening at once.
Deal down a card. This moment that you're doing this is taking away from the story. Every time you're midway through a routine.
And you also notice that I'm sort of doubling down. Not only do we all hate that moment, but I'm reminding the folks at home that that moment is not just you failing to pick up the card smoothly, but also, oh man, even worse, I'm screwing up the trick for other people. So now that we all agree that this is a problem, now we feel just a little bit of tension, and what we want is a reminder that there's an elegant solution, which there is. It's freaking awesome.
This is taking away from the story. Every time you're midway through a routine and a coin goes rolling into the crack at the middle of this bar, you're robbing something from the audience. But you don't have to do that anymore with the Rogues Arena.
So, okay, we're 1/3 of the way through. So think of the golden ratio. If you don't know the golden ratio, you're kind of seeing it right now. So basically, you'll notice that we started with a fractal. We did a lot of things fast to pique interest, and then we rode that dopamine just a little bit farther, and we got far enough into a story that we got to, this is the important part, and we'll see it when we look at the engagement graph down the road, but I'm going to bet that's the threshold. If you got past this part, you are engaged enough with the story that you feel the frustration with that specific problem, and then you want to keep on watching from here.
And a coin goes rolling into the crack at the middle of this bar. You're robbing something from the audience. But you don't have to do that anymore with the Rogues Arena. It's got just the right amount of padding, and by God, it is huge. It screams, I am here to do a show. It allows you to make a giant free choice, a big spread of all of the cards, that cushion.
So again, like that, those moments right there, there are two things happening. I'm describing how nice it is, but also your mirror neurons are firing like crazy, where it's like, because legit, I'm not going to lie, it does feel super rad to just buttery smooth spread those cards. If nothing else, look, I'll be honest, I could never perform again, and I'd still love to have my pad to just sit here and keep on hitting, practicing
that cushion
on.
Makes it so it's always easy to pick up cards and turn them over. And because they are so finely, exquisitely crafted, you're going to be able to use it for years and sell it down the road. I ain't going to lie and tell you this is an investment. Kind of an investment. I mean, if gold Krugerrands are an investment, then this is like the Cadillac of investments, which, by the way, it's better than a Cadillac because Cadillacs go down in value over time. Which brings me to the bad news. Price is going up. The new price for the Rogues Arena is going to be $400. Why? Number one, because it's worth it. Number two, because they're very expensive and durable and hard to make. But what about now? As I record this, the price is still a ridiculously low $249.99. Guess what? If you're seeing this in the future, that was the price. Can you believe it was such a bargain? I can't either. What do you get? You get the kind of close-up pad that allows you to do magic moves that you can't do anywhere else. One side is all about that mat. You can actually shuffle cards into each other, face up and face down. So they're face up and face down and face up. Heck, even face to face. But then you snap your fingers and all of the cards write themselves except for one card, their card, the Ace of Diamonds. Guess what, my friends? That's the kind of move that you get to do effortlessly when you have excellent equipment. That's just the side for cards. On the other side, you get
So you'll also notice when we get to the very end here, I no longer try to cover up the hard cuts. The hard cuts previously have been covered with punch-ins and for emphasis or whatever. But at this point, it's like we're all in the groove. You're either on board for the story or not. So we'll just keep on going. If I had more time, I would invested. But like I told you guys, I aimed for a 2-hour post-production time, and I pretty much got there, not counting transfer and upload and all of that stuff. But I sat down to do all this at around 10, and I was done around noon. I did attempt a AI polish on the quality. That'll do things like on those punch-ins, you've got a lower resolution video and it shows, but the AI pass will take that pixelated thing and make it a little bit nicer. But the trade-off is you get artifacts. That's only going to get better as the trainers get better. So I also had to make the call. Let me see what resolution I did this in. It's playing 720p. Oh, so it is all the way in 4K. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Now that I look at it, I realized I could have placed a highlight light behind me, but you guys were there when we shot principal photography on this, and so it was more important to move fast. That's the whole reason that we are designing all this.
Diamonds, guess what, my friends? That's the kind of move that you get to do effortlessly when you have excellent equipment. That's just the side for cards. On the other side, you get a perfect wide bar top. All those scams, those big payoffs, those puzzles that require coins to slide around, you get a big, wide surface area. It makes it easy for everybody to see everything going on. The Rogues Arena is legit, a must-have in your Magic arsenal. So jump on it right now while you still can at scamstuff.com. It's gear for the Mon and Rogue. Price is going up. Buried alive. Buried alive. World's greatest
I have no idea if anybody knew what I was doing there at the end. In fact, I would be curious to know who did and did not get where I was headed the moment I said, price is going up, buried alive, buried alive. We'll see. But I also got to learn how to do more audio manipulation to create that echo effect in there. Nitro Bird, I was not. Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, no, that's wild. That's some of the detritus floating around the Brian brain. Is there's a monologue that Khan does in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, where he says, Ricardo Montalban says to Kirk, he's like, I'll leave you as you left her, marooned on a desert planet, buried alive. Buried alive. And then enraged, William Shatner, Kirk, shakes and shouts, Khan, that famous moment. And then I added an extra meta layer on it because, as the insane ones know, I did a live stage event with William Shatner where I got to interview him for an hour. And he asked what my podcast was. And I said, World's Greatest Khan. And he said, don't you mean World's Greatest Khan? Highlight of my life. Was not going to get better than that. Sorry, children being born. Doesn't count. So great. So at this point, we have the word out that prices are going up, which is a weird way to advertise. Ha! Dr. Vile says, Infinity. Yeah, we got Spectrum Internet. Yeah, I know, Nitro Bird. It is a deep, deep cut. So now I got to pivot over to, I also did the music. I did the music on that. I mean, what does it mean to do? I oversaw the robot creation of Content ID safe synthwave on that. But it's great because you'll notice there's a couple of times I was able to cover cuts. I actually only had 2.5 minutes of that music. This is a 3.5 minute video. And so by using stems, I was able to like drop the beat at a narrative moment here. I think it's right here. This is actually me covering up a thing. There we
able to
go.
use it for years and sell it down the road.
I think it's,
I ain't gonna lie and tell you this is an investment. It was kind of an investment. I mean, if gold Krugerrands are an investment, then this is like the Cadillac of investments, which, by the way, it's better than a Cadillac because Cadillacs go down in value over time. Which brings me to the bad news. Price is going up. The new price for the Rogues Arena is going to be $400. Why? Number one, because it's worth it. Number two, because they're very expensive and durable and hard to make.
There we go. So that moment where it says "and hard to make," that's kind of where I was out of music, and so it just dropped, and then I brought it back.
Expensive and durable and hard to make. But what about now? As I record this, the price is...
Anyway, welcome to Production Notes with Brian, but I guess the whole thing is meta commentary on all of that stuff. I guess that's all I got for you this time. I took a pledge to not waste your time. We got guests coming into town for shoots. Hopefully we'll be able to do some live stuff. We got Jordan Breeding. His flight just got delayed heading out of Nashville. And I'm going to pick him up later on. We're going to be shooting for the next couple of days. There's a podcast that is a big deal that I get to do an interview on. I don't know when I'll be able to talk about it. And I think that's all I got for you guys. Any questions before I go? Because I am a bit bummed that the gating was showing up like that. But I guess, well, in this case, the music has stopped. Okay, it's fixed. All right, gang. Well, then I'm going to keep this a short one. Let me know what you guys else would like to see, and we'll get right on it. Outside of that, I'm going to clean up the studio and get back to work. You guys are the best. See you. Bye. Bye. Bye.